What's up, you guys? What is up? We are back. If you don't know this about the Badass Business Babe Tribe, let me take a minute to tell you. Every day at 12 p.m. Eastern, I show up to do free Facebook Live trainings for all of you, centered around business, strategy, and mindset. And I'm currently realizing one of my eyebrows does not look like the other. You guys, what is up? Happy New Year almost. It is nearly 2019, and I cannot tell you how fucking excited I am for the new year because obviously I have business goals, you have business goals, and those things are making me excited, but the reality is I am so fucking pumped to be pouring into you guys and teaching you so much amazing, epic stuff in 2019. And I can't tell you about it yet, but we have amazing stuff coming out, like the most epic shit for Badass Business Babe. It gets me so super pumped, so excited, and I just wanted to take a minute to tell you that because it's gonna be fucking awesome. Starting with tonight, our monthly live VIP only Q&A is happening tonight for the month of December. We have one every single month. So if you haven't gotten access to VIP, you can click the link in the bio of this video to join us. Every single month, you get an option to submit your business questions, your personal questions about your business. And once a month, I jump into the Facebook group and I answer them. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I know. So, okay, what's up, you guys? We need to have a conversation today. I am going to be so real and so open with you and share my heart. Now, it's really important to remember that when you grow your business, you will start to see patterns, whether you're a coach, a network marketer, a real estate agent, you will start to see patterns in the problems that your clients bring to the table. So if you are selling a product, for example, and you notice that a lot of people using that product come to you and ask follow-up questions, you then go, oh wait, maybe I need to design another product that solves this problem, right? If I am a coach on relationships and I design a program about intimacy, and then I realize that a lot of my clients have issues with their in-laws, then maybe I go, well, maybe I need to design a course about parents and how to handle that dynamic, right? So we're always being in this place of being connected to people who dictate the content that we then create for our businesses, the content that then we, ultimately sell, right? So in my experience these last couple of days, I've been attracting my clients, my one-on-ones, and my group programs the same fucking problems. And they come in this pattern because the universe is like, hey, what's up? You need to talk about this. And this is an issue that I have experienced in my own life. And now a lot of my clients are coming to me with this issue on the table too of burnout and fear of responsibility of success because of fear of burnout, right? So if this makes sense to you, if you've been in this position before where you want to create success, but you have these subconscious stories or the old beliefs of success creates more responsibility or success creates burnout, or in order to be successful, I have to work really, really hard, or in order to be fulfilling and achieving my goals, I need to sacrifice all of this other stuff. If you have this subconscious belief or this conscious belief, it drastically affects your ability to create success in your business and your life because let's face it, none of us want to be burnt out. And we run into a pattern where because we're afraid of burnout, we don't show up pouring ourselves into our business because we're afraid that if we do have success, there will be more responsibility, more obligation, more stress, more overwhelm, and so we play small. So I want to talk to you guys today about that and how to shift that mindset, how to create the clarity around creating the life you desire in a space where your business is fucking easy. Because here's the reality. Whether you think you're going to have an easy growing business or a hard growing business, you are right. Because your thoughts create your reality. Your thoughts will dictate the experience that you have in your business. If you believe that clients will ghost you, guess what? They will. If you believe that it's hard to find clients, guess what? It is. And so this is a process that we continually subconsciously are playing over and over in our brain that's then dictating and repelling the energies of being able to attract high vibe people who want to work with us. And so I'm going to share with you guys today some of my story around this experience, some of the things that I've been running into as I've been coaching my clients, to have this dialogue with you around self-sabotage. And I don't like to use the word self-sabotage because I think ultimately none of us are deliberately doing this, right? We all want success. We all want freedom. We all want abundance. So it's not like we're self-sabotaging, it's subconscious sabotaging. And what happens is if you have old stories, we're going to explain this and break it down in real easy fashion. If you have old stories from how you were raised, if you have old stories from past experiences, if you have old stories from things that happened when you were a kid, they then create subconscious beliefs that then dictate the action and the existence of how you operate. So I'll give you an example. When I was a teenager, my dad gave me a credit card when I was going off to college, and he said, hey, here's this credit card. It's for emergencies only. Well, that same year, my father lost his job, and I was getting gas at a gas station, and I put my debit card, or what I thought was my debit card, into the machine to take out cash, and I didn't know, but I was actually using the credit card, right? So I went to the machine, I put in my credit card, I'm like, I'm gonna take out $40, like whatever I needed. And when I got home from my trip, my dad fucking lost it. Like, he took off his shoe, he threw it at me, he was screaming, he was feeling this financial pressure. And the fact that I took out a cash advance on a credit card, which I didn't even know I fucking did, created so much pain. And I watched this and I experienced it. And I remember there were other things too, like my mom had a Kohl's credit card, right? And she went and charged something, and my dad saw the bill and flipped out. Why are you using that card, right? So I developed this really clear pattern that credit cards were really, really bad. That was what I learned. And I learned that because as a kid, I had very painful experiences attached to the memories associated with using a credit card. This is really simple and really basic, but it's really fucking powerful, you guys. This happens everywhere in our life. This happens with clients when you're working with people and you've been rejected before and you're like, oh, I'm scared of rejection, right? This happens with income when we make money and we've had experiences of losing money where we earn income and then a random ass bill comes in the mail and we think to ourselves, why bother making money if I'm just gonna have to spend it on bills? This happens to us when we get out of debt and then get back into debt, right? And these patterns are because we're preventing ourselves from stepping into our greatness for fear of responsibility, for fear of burnout, for fear of not being enough. And at every single level of your business and at every single level of your life, you have to go deeper and deeper into correcting your old stories because these old stories are a part of you and they're not really going anywhere. The stories change and the stories evolve and you heal over time. But as you grow and create success, there's new challenges along the way. So in the beginning of my business, when I was ready to invest and ready to hire a coach, I had to deal with the credit card perception, that old story that I created around, hey, I can't charge things to credit cards because that's really bad. And I needed to make investments when I was growing my business. I hired a coach, I enrolled in coaching programs so I could learn how to use the online space. And I had to correct the old story of getting a credit card and charging something is bad. And I needed to correct that. So I challenged myself. I was aware of it. But at a new level, when I got to the next level of my business and I started to hire people in my business and we built a team, Badass Business Babe, there's now 4 of us running this company together, right? I had to deal with the old story of you can't trust anybody. And for a long time, I had seen my father run a business with his partner where his partner took advantage and didn't treat my father with respect and stole the company from him and took out all of these loans under my dad's name. And I had to deal with the old story of, hey, is it safe to bring people into this company? Is it safe to build an empire with people? And when you don't feel like it's safe to take action, you either don't take that action or you take it in a lower vibration and you self-sabotage. And so for me in the beginning of my business, when I was so petrified of making the wrong decisions of who I allowed into my space, who I allowed to grow the business with me, I would attract people who were assholes. we're just really terrible people. And then I'd be like, what the fuck is happening, right? Like, I want to overcome this old story, but this old story keeps coming up. What the heck, right? How many of you guys have experienced that before? You want to let go of an old story and it just keeps fucking showing up. Well, here's the thing. You need to change your identity in order to manifest a different story. And if you want to be somebody who's successful and accomplished and fulfilled, you need to change your identity and the stories you have associated with money, relationships, and vulnerability. Write those down. It's really important. Money, relationships, and vulnerability. You want to heal who you are. Those are the 3 things you need to shift. Your beliefs about money, your beliefs about relationships, and really, really looking at this layer of vulnerability and saying, hey, where am I not stepping into my true authentic space because I'm afraid of judgment, or I'm afraid of what people are going to think? Or where am I not doing that Facebook Live or that blog post because I'm afraid of what so-and-so is going to say about me? And so along the way, these stories that were playing in my brain around money and around relationships and around vulnerability, they challenged me each and every way. And we were on a group coaching call the other night, one of my group coaching programs. We had our final call for the coaching mentorship. Six Figure Biz Babe opens next month. Really excited, January. So we just closed coaching mentorship, and on our final call, we're having this conversation about fear and asking ourselves, well, like, how do we overcome this fear? The fear of not making enough money, or the fear of not being successful, or the fear of being too vulnerable and getting made fun of. And I want to just challenge all of you guys today to create a new relationship with fear, where the fear isn't a sign to stop, it's a sign to go, right? So feeling afraid to press post, my thing, whenever I feel nervous about a post, I know it's a good post because I've put my heart into it and I've taken a chance and I've pushed the envelope and I've risked on some level, right? And you need to show up to be in that space of uncertainty in order to get to the next level, because you don't know what the next level is like, and that's why it feels scary. So the fear is not a sign that you should stop. The fear is actually a sign that you're stepping into your next level and you just don't know what that level looks like. So it makes your heart race, it makes you uncomfortable, it makes you scared and nervous. And so learning how to look at fear and saying, hey, I actually love this. Like, this is a sign that I'm on the right path. This is a sign that this is a good thing. This is a sign that I'm growing. This is so fucking exciting. And when you can feel that and move forward, that's when everything changes. So when we talk about fear of success and we talk about this fear of responsibility or this fear of burnout, here's the reality of things. There are a lot of people in the online space who are growing their businesses from a place of exhaustion, total exhaustion. And I watch these people where they just throw programs up like spaghetti on the wall and saying, hey, let me try this, let me try that, let me see if this works, let me open this program, let me try this program. There is no structure, there is no foundation, there is no consistency, there is no plan. And in the beginning, growing a business, you kind of have to do those things because you're trying new outcomes, right? You're hoping on a new program, or you designed a new product, or you're giving whatever a shot, right? Like, you have to do that. There's a layer of uncertainty to trying new things. But ultimately, once you discover what works, your ability to succeed to the next level is about rinsing and repeating, taking back the responsibility and the power of your schedule and saying, hey, I'm not going to put all of these things on my plate because I'm going to plan for an organized year. I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to get organized and structured in how I show up. And when we have these stories around like making money and creating burnout, like in the beginning of my business, the first 9 months, I was working like 12 hours a day, right? And then I made like my first $1,000 month and I was fucking tired and I was getting sick all the time and I was so exhausted and overweight and I hadn't shaved my legs in like a month, right? I was so totally burnt out. And I remember thinking, if this is what it took me to make $1,000, how the fuck am I gonna make 10? Right? Like, this feels impossible. So network marketers feel this a lot too, right? Where you hustle to reach a level and then you go, oh my God, I have to work all hard again next month, right? It's about quality over quantity. And when you throw a bunch of different hustle strategies on the wall to make your first $1,000 month or your first $2,000 or whatever it is, your subconscious mind knows that money is a magnifier. Money only amplifies what already exists. And if what already exists is burnout and stress and overwhelm, guess what? You're not going to reach that next level because your subconscious mind is going to say, oh, this is impossible and this is really exhausting and I don't want to be exhausted, so I'm just going to stay where I am, right? So if you're stressed out and overwhelmed where you are now, the solution here is not to keep doing what you're doing, right? That's the first and foremost. What got you here will not get you there. What got you here will not get you there. So you need to really look at, where am I spending my time every single day, right? Where am I pouring myself into creation for my customer versus where am I getting lost in scrolling on Facebook every day? Where am I showing up with intention versus where am I showing up with mess? Right? And when you can get really organized with your time, you'll create a safe container where your life will feel easy, right? Like if you want to expand your business, your life, your relationship, whatever it is, if you want it to get better for you, you have to feel like where you are is easy. And a lot of us don't. A lot of us feel like, oh my God, like I got to my first $1,000 month and I'm fucking burnt out as shit. How the fuck am I going to get to 10? Right? That attitude of what I used to have. So the first thing I did was I recognized what got me here will not get me there. That's the first element. And I had to really acknowledge, like, what did get me here, right? Hustle, hard work, dedication, drive, effort, push, aggression, right? Like I worked fucking hard, hours, sacrifice. But what got me here, right? When I was reflecting on this, what got me here will not get me there. And so like just recently, if I look at where I am, I only work like 3 hours a day now, right? Like I show up, I do what I want to do. Our business hit 500,000 this year and I have a free schedule because I've created systems that make sense, systems that clear my mind, that allow me to be really fucking creative when I want to be creative and allow the variety of like, where's money coming from to disappear, right? Like that issue of like, where's money coming from? How am I paying my bills? I don't know if it's going to work. That variety needs to just fucking go because that's the variety that makes us feel really uncomfortable and uncertain about our lives and uncertain about our businesses. So shelving that variety is about coming up with a game plan and saying, okay, what got me here maybe was really exhausting, but where do I want to go? Okay, I want to go to a place where I have time freedom and I want to go to a place where my business is really successful. So who do I have to be to get there? Well, I have to be organized. I have to be powerful and I need to be energized, right? So if those are the 3 words that come to my mind, who do I need to be to get to that level? I then say, okay, well, what has to change in my life if I want to be that powerful person, if I want to be that energized person, if I want to be that leader, right? Like what has to change in my reality and in my lifestyle? And when I got really clear about that, I realized that this throwing spaghetti on the wall and trying shit wasn't going to serve me anymore. And a lot of the times I think we look at what has already gotten us to our place and we don't want to do more of that. And we think that we have to get the next result. And that's what creates burnout. Burnout is about doing the same thing at the old level at the new level and then feeling really, really exhausted. Because the new level, you don't need to show up that way. So remember, at every stage of your business, you are adapting new habits and you're abandoning old ones. So what habits are you choosing to let go of this year? And what new habits are you going to adapt for 2019? Those are some really solid questions for you to ask. I'm going to wrap it up because I think I want to keep this short and sweet today. I have a lot of fun creation stuff on my plate and I want to just dive right back into it. But I think the long-term result that I want you to take away from this is slow down and strategize. You do not need to feel like you need to do all the things at once. You need to come up with a plan. And if you don't have a plan for 2019, you can map one out. It takes a really short amount of time. I suggest you go into the VIP tribe and do the 2019 roadmap training. That was huge for so many of our VIP babes. You get access to that and all the old VIP trainings when you join. And obviously the link is here in the bio of this video and in the show notes. But I just want you to remember, there's such power in feminine energy, but there's also disaster without having structure. And when you want to lead in creativity and be feminine and free and have all these ideas and just try different stuff, You need a safe container to do that, and you don't need to show up burning out all of the time. You need to slow down and come up with a plan. And when you realize that success and burnout are not correlated, right? Like they can be two totally separate things, you will feel safe enough to be successful. So that's my lesson for you today. I hope that helped. I hope that gave you a little bit of like those aha moments. This wasn't really so much a training as it was like, I need to create some ahas for you guys today. So I hope I did that. If you haven't joined us in VIP, you can click the link. We have our Q&A session tonight. Once a month, I answer all the Q&As for our VIP babes. So if you haven't jumped on, you can jump on. And I will see you guys all tomorrow. Or if you're a VIP babe, I will see you tonight for our live Q&A. Mwah! I love you guys. Have an amazing day. Bye.